The world breaks everyone, and afterward, some are strong at the broken places. There is no hunting like the hunting of man, and those who have hunted armed men long enough and liked it, never care for anything else thereafter. But man is not made for defeat. A man can be destroyed but not defeated. Courage is grace under pressure. There is no lonelier man in death, except the suicide, than that man who has lived many years with a good wife and then outlived her. If two people love each other, there can be no happy end to it. Always do sober what you said you'd do drunk. That will teach you to keep your mouth shut. There is nothing to writing. All you do is sit down at a typewriter and bleed. When you go to war as a boy, you have a great illusion of immortality. Other people get killed, not you. Then, when you are badly wounded the first time, you lose that illusion, and you know it can happen to you. I like to listen. I have learned a great deal from listening carefully. Most people never listen. There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility lies in being superior to your former self. There is no friend as loyal as a book. The first panacea for a mismanaged nation is inflation of the currency, the second is war. Both bring a temporary prosperity, both bring a permanent ruin. But both are the refuge of political and economic opportunists. In modern war, you will die like a dog for no good reason. Never mistake motion for action. You're beautiful, like a mayfly. Happiness in intelligent people is the rarest thing I know. We are all apprentices in a craft where no one ever becomes a master. Every man's life ends the same way. It is only the details of how he lived and how he died that distinguish one man from another. Time is the least thing we have of. Never think that war, no matter how necessary, nor how justified, is not a crime. I learned never to empty the well of my writing, but always to stop when there was still something there in the deep part of the well, and let it refill at night from the springs that fed it. Prose is architecture, not interior decoration, and the Baroque is over. Madam, all stories, if continued far enough, end in death, and he is no true storyteller who would keep that from you. There is no rule on how to write. Sometimes it comes easily and perfectly. Sometimes it's like drilling rock and then blasting it out with charges. If you are lucky enough to have lived in Paris as a young man, then wherever you go for the rest of your life it stays with you, for Paris is a movable feast. Once we have a war, there is only one thing to do. It must be won. For defeat brings worse things than any that can ever happen in war. The only thing that could spoil a day was people. People were always the limiters of happiness except for the very few that were as good as spring itself. If you have a success, you have it for the wrong reasons. If you become popular, it is always because of the worst aspects of your work. I wake up in the morning and my mind starts making sentences, and I have to get rid of them fast, talk them or write them down. When writing a novel, a writer should create living people, not characters. A character is a caricature. If a writer knows enough about what he is writing about, he may omit things that he knows. The dignity of movement of an iceberg is due to only 1/9 of it being above water. The game of golf would lose a great deal if croquet mallets and billiard cues were allowed on the putting green. A serious writer is not to be confounded with a solemn writer. A serious writer may be a hawk or a buzzard or even a popinjay, but a solemn writer is always a bloody owl. I love to go to the zoo, but not on Sunday. I don't like to see the people making fun of the animals, when it should be the other way around. It's none of their business that you have to learn how to write. Let them think you were born that way. I always rewrite each day up to the point where I stopped. When it is all finished, naturally you go over it. You get another chance to correct and rewrite when someone else types it, and you see it clean in type. The last chance is in the proofs. You're grateful for these different chances. They wrote in the old days that it is sweet and fitting to die for one's country. But in modern war, there is nothing sweet nor fitting in your dying. You will die like a dog for no good reason. When you have shot one bird flying, you have shot all birds flying. They are all different and they fly in different ways, but the sensation is the same and the last one is as good as the first. Switzerland is a small, steep country, much more up and down than sideways, and is all stuck over with large brown hotels built on the cuckoo clock style of architecture. For a true writer, each book should be a new beginning where he tries again for something that is beyond attainment. He should always try for something that has never been done or that others have tried and failed. Then sometimes, with great luck, he will succeed. His talent was as natural as the pattern that was made by the dust on a butterfly's wings. At one time he understood it no more than the butterfly did, and he did not know when it was brushed or marred. Thanks for watching.